With our flower farm, big part of our production is obviously having good compost, which we've shown kind of where we get that from, but also having good mulch. And the mulch is, and compost and mulch can be used interchangeably, but mulch is typically, like with these snapdragons, I'll want to mulch with a layer of leaves, or mulch composted leaves, the whole bed now that they're that tall. It gives them some protection and nutrients and all that. So I love to use leaves, composted leaves, or leaf mulch. As you can see, I've got plenty I need to get up on my own property, but I put a little message out on Nextdoor, and I am collecting bagged leaves from people. These people were nice enough to drop them off here, but I've been picking them up with the truck and trailer. I'm getting a little overwhelmed, but it's been awesome. I've got so many leaves right now. I'm going to pick up another big load, and these will all become some good leaf mulch here, hopefully by spring. I have figured out I wish I had even a bigger trailer and truck, but I can get a fair amount of bags in there, but not as many as I thought. But time to get another load. I got my buddy, my riding partner with me, and we're gonna go get some more. It's always important to have a good co-pilot. I picked up our first load, filled up the whole back of the truck. A couple bags are in the trailer. I'm gonna go dump these off, because I got a note from a individual that said there's a neighborhood that has a bunch of bags of leaves all over. So I'm just gonna go roam that neighborhood next once I dump these off. I don't think my co-pilot is quite as excited as I am with all this. This is all I got from just that one household that called me. So that's why I gotta drop this off so I have room to go to that neighborhood and see what I can get from there. But it fills up the truck and trailer quickly. Now we're just gonna take a drive around and see if we can find some bags of leaves. There's definitely leaves all over the place, just no bagged leaves so far. There's people bagging leaves up here. Try a couple other streets. All right, this is kind of what we're looking for here. Some bags. Bunch of bags. Oh yeah, whole street. Time to get busy. See, this is called great timing. Because if I'd waited 10 more minutes, that's what I'm talking about. This is where all those leaves would be going, would be in that trash truck right there. But not these, I got them. So in just one morning of driving around, I've got all these bags. Got all of these bags. And got ones, you probably can't see them, they're way down there. So that's a pretty good haul for one morning. Problem is now I gotta empty all of them, but I did score on that neighborhood I was just in. These bags right here are really big bags, and they were so heavy. I was trying to figure out why they were so heavy. Well, the leaves have already been shredded. So those are huge bags of shredded leaves that I can use pretty quickly. So that's a pretty good score there. Pretty much have unloaded all I can unload for today. Still got a couple bags, but those are going to go in another area. There's still one thing left to do. And don't tell me that every single one of you doesn't want to do this. We are in day 2 of leaf pickup 2023. Got another load. And this afternoon, I had a person, they called me yesterday to set up this afternoon. They supposedly have 36 bags I gotta pick up, so I might be done after that. But I wanted to go over a couple options that you have in getting leaves like this. I mean, of course, there's the picking up like I am, picking up bags in neighborhoods and things like that, which is very doable, but it is a lot of work. The ideal thing to do, which is I actually was able to do last year, is if you can hook up with some leaf removal companies and have them dump their leaves. Last year, I got up with a guy that did leaf removal, and he dumped 2 loads in here. It's gone now, but that lasted me almost to a couple months ago. And the good thing about that is those leaves are already kind of shredded to a certain degree, so they break down a lot quicker. I mean, I'd love to get a shredder or a mulcher and shred all these leaves that I got, because then I know they would break down quicker. But that's a big advantage of hooking up with a company like that. Number one, they bring it to you and dump it, and number two, it's already somewhat shredded and mulched. Now, that guy's not doing it anymore. That's why I started doing the bag pickup. But I had reached out to, I think, 5 different leaf removal companies locally, and I only heard back from one initially that said, yeah, I'll be glad to dump some, when he's out this way. But just yesterday I heard back from another one saying, absolutely, I'll dump some for you. Again, they got to be out in this direction, but so I may still get leaves like that, which will just add to all the leaves I've got. So I don't really think you can have enough, because once it gets mulched and everything, I'll use these everywhere. So that is 2 good options. I mean, of course, you can get them up on your own property. I still have a bunch of leaves I got to get up here around the flower stand, but I mean, that's never enough to last very long. But I do mow those up and use them fairly quickly because they're already mulched up a little bit. But I like to leave the rest of the leaves in the natural areas just to break down on their own. But if you have an option to get leaves like this, you should do it, because it is some good stuff. So give you a little update on the whole leaf saga of 2023. I got all these bags of leaves, hundreds, I would say. We mulched up probably half of them. That's this whole pile here. And this kind of gives you an idea of how well it mulches up. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. So I'm going to start using that. Actually, right now I've got the Snapdragon row. I've mulched probably half of it. I want to get the rest of that mulched and then covered over, because we have our first low 20-degree night coming tonight. But let me show you what else I've got. So after picking up all those bags of leaves, and even more now, you can see those I felt obligated to pick those up because I told the lady, she's one of the very first ones I got leaves from. I told her when she got more I'd pick them up, which I did. But that was after all of a sudden the leaf removal companies I had contacted, all of a sudden they called and started dumping leaves. Which, again, I'm not complaining. The good thing about the majority of these piles is these are already somewhat shredded. So this is the one he just dropped. So again, I can use that fairly soon, or even if I'm not, it's going to turn into leaf mold or compost pretty quick. But I've got all these leaves. I've got a pile way down there. And I got these, those are wood chips, but everything else is leaves. So I finally had to tell the guy I can't take anymore, or my wife might leave me. So I'm going to do some mulching for now, and the rest we will do in other rows, maybe just to cover for the winter, or we're just going to let it sit here or put it in another spot just to turn into leaf mold, and we'll have it for the spring, which was my whole purpose of all this. So I think I've accomplished my goal in then some. So you can see I've got the majority of all this already mulched, and this is my whole, my main purpose of having it. It just helps protect the bed, keep the weeds down, even though I know it's the winter. We keep the weeds down, keep the soil warm, and just I think will help protect everything. And then it will be good food when it decomposes for the spring. So I've still got just the rest of this row to do. I might do a little bit around those smaller snapdragons. Then I'm going to check these rows real quick before it gets dark here and starts to get really cold, and see what else might need to be mulched. So to me, that's a nice warm bed for these snapdragons. Not too warm, which they won't be. They're going to get pretty shriveled every night with that freezing weather, but then they always come back, just like they did this morning. These were looked pretty bad when I uncovered them, but that's just how they overwinter. But they're ready to go. The smaller ones, I just put mulch along the edges just for weed control. I'm gonna wait till they get a little bit bigger before I mulch right directly around them. But time to get that covered up.